started doing, I thought that I would pop on, and I'm about to change my purses. So I thought I would come on and change my purse with you guys and chit chat. So I'm going to change from my suede Amy Kirstenberg hobo purse into my, who is this? Alexander Wang Rocco bag. If y'all remember, these Rocco bags were like, hey Lady D, what's up baby? Were super popular in the early 2000s, and I'm obsessed with this bag. It's lamb calf leather, and so we're going to change into this bag. So let's get to. So take out my wallet, and then we're going to take out the purse organizer. And I have this little suede, little suede bag that came with my other suede hobo I got the other day. I love this time of year. I need to get out my stinking Christmas tree. I haven't put my Christmas tree up yet. I know. I'm a terrible person. I've just been so busy. I was also cleaning the house all day today and doing laundry. So that's what I've been doing. Okay, I gotta take this video game back for Nate. This is my favorite little coin purse. I got that when I was out of town one year. Okay, dokie. Take all that stuff out. Hey, Ash. What's up, baby? I was just live in my Facebook group, you guys. Somebody commented on my TikTok account. And y'all remember back in 2021 when I went to California and I had a drink on the plane? Well, I had told a story about that. Let's put my suede bag in this purse bag. I had told a story about that in 2021 over on my TikTok account. And somebody commented that, did you not count that as a relapse? And I'm like, no. Why would I count that as a relapse? I didn't drink to get drunk, you know. I actually had a Crown and Coke. I was having a panic attack on the airplane, and the lady beside me ordered me a Crown and Coke because she said it would calm down my nerves. Because I was like, you guys should have seen me. My whole neck turned red. Oh, my cheeks were red. I was hyperventilating. And there was this little old lady. She's probably like 65, 70 years old. She was sitting in the chair beside me, and she was like, here, let me get you a drink. It'll calm your nerves. And I was like, I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, yes, please. So she ordered me a Crown and Coke. And I remember I drank it, and I immediately calmed down. And that's all. I didn't have a drink anymore. I didn't have another drink. I didn't drink after that. It didn't trigger me to want to go do meth. It didn't make me want to go drink alcohol. I literally just had one drink. But somebody had watched my video from 3 years ago, and was like, don't you count that as a relapse? And I'm like, no. I believe a relapse is when you intentionally drink or use drugs to get high and escape reality. And that was not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to not have a panic attack. And I also believe it's when you continue to drink and use drugs. And so I would never, first of all, I don't believe in telling people that they have to start their time over. Okay? I believe if you have been sober for 20 years and you have one glass of alcohol, I do not believe that that is a relapse. I believe a relapse is when you are actively using and continue using, even though you know you're not supposed to be, and you continue making bad choices. I believe there is most definitely a difference between um, a relapse and a slip. You know, I believe a slip would be if you used and you continued using, but very quickly realized that you had made a mistake and then turned it back around. Um, but at the end of the day, I believe it's very individual for every person. And I just don't believe in telling people that they need to start their time over. Like, I just think that's so counterproductive. I don't really believe that it helps anybody, you know? Um, and yeah, so I've been sober for 9 years. And if I choose to have a drink once a year, I'll have a drink once a year. But I don't really drink, so I don't. But if I wanted to, I would. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Um, if I wanted to drink, I would drink. And I would still say that I had 9 years in recovery. And nobody can stop me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a traditional person in recovery who decides to, like, you know, if you're a traditional person in recovery that chooses to follow like an abstinence model and that works for you, I 100% support you. 100%. And like, I am abstinent 99.9% of my life, but if I wanted to have a drink on a holiday, I will have a drink on a holiday if I want to. And you want to know why? Because alcohol and drugs don't rule my life anymore. Alcohol and drugs don't make choices for me today. You know, do you understand? Like, I have control over my consumption today. Now, there was a time in my life where I didn't really have control over my consumption, you know? And so I struggled a lot. And for people that are struggling like that, I would not recommend for them to, you know, to partake in any kind of drinking or using. But it's really, really just up to the individual, you know? I do what works for me, which is I take my MAP medication and I stay sober every day. And I live my little life here in recovery in Arkansas. I don't go around like commenting and telling other people that they're not sober or in recovery because they choose to, you know, smoke medical marijuana or because they choose to have a drink on a holiday. Like, I really believe that it's an individualized journey, and you just have to find what works for you. A lot of people don't agree with the way I do recovery, and that's great. You know what that means? Guess what? You're not me, and you don't have to do recovery the way I do it. You do it the way it works for you. I do it the way it works for me. And then we all live in harmony, baby. Y'all know what I'm saying? But I do just block people that come in here. If somebody comes in here and they think that they're going to tell me what I am, you're blocked. If you think that you're going to come in here and be nasty and rude, you're blocked. So I protect my peace at all costs nowadays. I just don't have the energy to fight with people. I'm not fighting with you about whether or not you think I'm in recovery or not. I don't care what you think. This is where I vlog and I share my life experiences and what worked for me. I'm not trying to tell you how to do it. I'm just sharing what worked for me and how I did it. You know what I'm saying? If having one drink on a holiday triggers you to the point where you want to go smoke crack, then you probably shouldn't do that. But guess what? It doesn't affect me like that. If I had a drink on the holiday, I don't think about wanting to do any other drug. I don't think about wanting to do anything else. And I believe that people are taught to fear drugs. And the problem are not drugs. The problem is you and your behaviors that you have developed around substances. The problem is you. It's not the substance, it's you. There are people out there that use drugs every single day that work full-time jobs, that have millions of dollars in their bank accounts and are living their best lives because they have control over what they do. Um, I just feel like so many people in the recovery community are like I said, taught to be afraid. And I'm not afraid of anything anymore because I know that I choose what I want to do. I have the power to choose my choices today. I don't have to go out and do drugs. I don't have to go out and drink alcohol. I don't have to go out and make bad choices today. And that's what I do. I choose not to make bad choices. Um, my hair, y'all, are we liking the dark hair? Oh, happy birthday to your wife, Eldon. I'm sorry she passed away. I'm not laughing at you, Eldon. Where are my mods at? I know y'all aren't sleeping on the job. We have some, I dare I say, some weirdos coming in. I love it. I love it, Becky. It has really helped curb my appetite a lot. I feel like it looks so much better. What's dangerous about telling people to do what works for them? Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to sit on my platform and villainize substances because drugs are not the issue. It's people's behaviors around substances. I'm not going to sit on my platform and tell people that if they have one drink on a holiday that they are a horrible person and that's going to make them go relapse, because that's not true. You relapse if you want to go use drugs. You choose that. That is what you're choosing to do. It's not because you had a drink of alcohol. It's what you wanted to do subconsciously and you went out and did it. Do I recommend people to go out and drink alcohol? No, alcohol's poison, right? Like, that's why I don't drink alcohol. But if I had a drink on a weekend with my friends at a holiday getaway, I'm not going to come online and be like, oh my God, I relapsed. I ruined my recovery, because that's not true. That's not true. I have been sober for 9 years and worked my ass off to get here where I'm at today. And I just believe that so many people are teaching people to like be afraid. You have to take power back in your life and make positive choices and positive change in your life. You know, it's what you choose to make out of your life. That's what's going to happen. You know, that's why, like I said, and I'll say it again, that's why I choose not to drink. That's why I don't drink alcohol. Do you see me drinking alcohol right now? Do you guys ever see me drinking alcohol? No, because I really don't drink alcohol. What I'm saying, though, is if I'm out on a holiday getaway and we are in Jamaica with my husband and they're coming around with margaritas and one of them says, hey, would you like a margarita? And I'm celebrating a celebration, then I might partake in one margarita. I give myself that grace. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are y'all getting what I'm putting down? I'm not going to come on here and be like, oh my God, you relapsed because you had a margarita on your birthday. Like, what? People, that's just so lame to even like be that way to people. I also don't believe in going around and telling people what they did was wrong or good or whatever. Do what works for you and find the recovery path that helps you the most. I enjoy an open pathway. Like, I like to be able to have the ability to do what I want to do in my recovery journey and not feel shameful about doing it. You know what I mean? That's why I don't do abstinent only recovery, you know, but if you choose to do abstinent only recovery, I 100% support you. 100%. But anyway, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did you guys eat good food? We went over to my mom and dad's and we had ham and turkey and stuffing and what else we have? Pumpkin pie, pecan pie. I love stuffing. Stuffing's my favorite. I literally drink like once or twice a year for special occasions. Alcohol was never my DOC. Now, if I take an oxy once, I already know I'll be off the races. Same, Becky. Same. I don't even drink once a year. I drink maybe once every 2 or 3 years. I will have one alcoholic beverage. To me, it's too expensive and it takes too much to even make a difference. So I don't want to waste my time with it. you know, um, I have a feeling that there are, I don't know who it is that's trolling my channel, but I have a feeling that I have a feeling I know who it is. But there's a little group of people that are still trying to hang on for dear life and troll my channel over here. Um, and I peep the game. So if y'all wonder why I don't live stream as much as I used to, that's one of the reasons. Because I'm just not going to deal with weirdos coming in and like trolling us and for no reason. Because I feel like people do it to try and trigger me. And I just, like, honestly, you guys, I just don't fucking have the time. I don't want to feel triggered. I don't want to cuss people out on the internet. I don't like getting worked up like I used to really like have fun doing it and like laugh and kiki. But now it's just like not enjoyable to me to like argue with somebody that doesn't even have an account, or argue with somebody who doesn't even have a profile picture. Like, who am I arguing with? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, who needs the aggravation? Exactly. Yeah, I saw one person trying to post about me over there, and it was you. So, and I was just like, whatever. Bathrobe. Go back to your bathrobe. I think I've always been like really honest about the things that I do in my sobriety journey. And I think that also like bothers people because like I'm not sitting here trying to lie to you guys. Like I'm telling you, in 2021, when I was on the airplane, I had one drink. Like, I'm honest about it. I talked about it back in 2021. And I think that really bothers people, that people still support me and lift me up and follow me because they feel like I should be like in trouble for being honest. That's why people respect me and my recovery journey because I don't lie. I've been transparent about being on Suboxone all these years. I don't do abstinent only recovery. So if you came here and you're trying to like push me into a box of abstinent only recovery and like make me fit it's not going to work. I have always done outside of the box style recovery, thinking outside of the box. I've always supported harm reduction. I have always supported meeting people where they're at. And so I believe that it just bothers some people that maybe they're upset because they presented themselves as being abstinent and then they weren't and they got caught in a lie. And so that's what I think the issue is. A lot of people try to fit into the box of being abstinent, right? And then what happens is they end up getting caught lying because they're drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana, taking pills, and then they are upset. Well, you should have never lied in the first place. Yeah, Eldon, can you tell? You know where I can tell? I can tell in my neck. It's my weight is picking back. It's lowering again. Oh, let me show y'all my hair regrowth too. Some people just don't want to be honest with themselves. Yes, and I'm telling you guys, like I will not do opioids. I will not smoke weed because it makes me want to eat food all the time. That's another drug for me is food. I will not do cocaine. I will not take pills. I will not do meth. Like those things really trigger me to want to use other things. But if I am celebrating with a family on a holiday and everybody's drinking and having a glass of wine or a margarita to celebrate, I'm being honest with you. I will partake that one time. And then I'll come and tell you a story time about it and how I'm still here today, sober from drugs, because that doesn't drive me to want to do anything else. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't feel like they can do that. And maybe they've tried before and then they relapsed. But what I'm trying to explain to people is that alcohol doesn't make you go out and do crack. It's you wanted to do that. Deep down inside, that was what you wanted to do. And that's what you just needed, a little lubrication to get back to that. So alcohol lubed you up and you led yourself that way. If you know that about yourself, then you shouldn't drink alcohol at all. You know? But look, do you remember that all of this right here was like almost bald, you guys? I have no idea what October 11th is, honey. No idea. You know, like a lot of people, I think they have issues and then they like project that onto other people. No, my DOC was meth, opioids, benzos, and cocaine. But look at my hair. I mean, it's all growing back. Like, I'm so proud of myself. What's the dirt in like the lower left side of your hair? Oh, I don't know. Was there something there? Oh, no, Ed, I don't even know. No, I don't know how to do readings, baby. Is it still there? I don't think I see it anymore. Oh, I didn't really see it, but whoop. Is that better? I find it, but you guys, I was so excited the other day, y'all. So this is what I'm going to do, y'all. What else? I still don't see it. Maybe I'm missing it. Oh, was it a piece of fuzz or something? Anyway, I'm going to go to the dermatologist. So my dad finally, he is, hey, let's sing the doom song. Which drug do you want me to tell you a story about? But you guys see this patch of freckles right here? It's like a bunch of freckles all together. So I was over at my parents' house the other day, and my dad was like, you need to get that taken off. He's like, you're too pretty to have that on your face. And I was like, well, I went to the dermatologist like 3 years ago, and they said it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't like cancerous or anything. It's not like raised up or anything like that. It's like a liver spot or a sunspot, I guess you could say. My mom has them also, like this hyperpigmentation on her face. And so my dad kept picking about me at it. And so now I'm going to go get it cut off, I guess, because he done made me feel like it's ugly. I kind of think it like, I don't know. I feel like I've had it for so long that I wouldn't even know what I would look like without it, you know? But Sander, Ian. Hey, Ian. I'm so glad to see you in here. I miss you. I hope you're doing good. You guys, Ian is one of my very first subscribers. Very first. You're in Ireland, right, Ian? Happy holidays, Chris. Yeah, it hasn't changed shape or color at all. It's been the same for like years. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Hey, Shawanda. Thanks, baby. Okay, let me think about one of my most craziest crackhead story. Hold on. Let me rack my brain. Okay. Are you ready? Y'all have heard the story, and I've told these stories so many times, but I'll tell you it again. This is the time that I hallucinated that there was literal Roxy's everywhere. And I ended up shooting up cat piss, okay, something, and damn giving myself fucking cotton fever or some kind of major infection. It was horrible. So let me think. Where did I start out getting high at? So I had been over at Tara's house and I was high on, we had been smoking crack for like 2 or 3 days. But then I got a hold of some meth and I did a shot of meth and then I left Tara's and I went over to Gerald's house, right? And I was over at Gerald's house for the day, just hallucinating and fucking shooting meth and shooting Roxy's. I would always do them interchangeably. Like I would do like a bunch of Roxy's in the at night, and then in the morning I would do meth and like go 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 go. Well, I was over at Gerald's house for like 24 hours, and then I decided to drive back over to Tara's house because Tara's house is where I lived. Mind you, I'm already hallucinating. And I was like a hallucinating person, like driving in my car, hallucinating, but somehow, some way I could always drive down the road. I don't know how. God was with me. God was driving my car. So I got to Tara's house and I walked through her front door. And when I got there, I can remember it so vividly too. That's what's so crazy about my hallucinations is that when I'm reflecting back on the stories that I'm telling you guys, like I remember going through this experience. I walked through the front door and I looked down and all I saw was Roxy 30s. Now, if you know anything about a Roxy 30, they're like a pretty aqua blue color and they have a little circle with an M in it and then a 30 on the other side. So I seen all these M-box 30s on the ground. And I was like, Tara, and Tara knows that I'm hallucinating. She knows me. She's been shooting dope with me for years, so she knows how crazy I get. So a lot of times she would just ignore me. So she's ignoring me. And I'm on the floor picking up what I think are Roxy 30s and putting them into my spoon because I'm going to inject them. So she's just ignoring me. And y'all, mind you, she had 2 cats, a daughter that lived there, and the house was always so dirty. Like when I tell you, I would have days where I would totally dedicate to cleaning her whole house because I felt like I was the only one that ever cleaned, okay? And so it was bad. So I'm on the floor like carpet surfing and I'm picking up what I think are Roxy 30s and putting them in the spoon. Well, honey, they were not Roxy 30s, okay? It was shit and piss for all I know, all right? And I did the shot, and literally not even 15 minutes later, I got super hot. Like, I'm talking like where your, like, sweat is beating off of your forehead. And I was sick, okay? Like, sick. So I took off walking. Why did I walk? I think God knew if I drove my car, I was going to kill myself. So I took off walking out of Tara's house, and the next door neighbor saw me and called 911. The police show up, and the policeman's like, hey, are you okay? And so here's where situations would go crazy, because when I would come into contact with law enforcement, like I could talk to them. Like I'm like, yeah, man, I'm okay. I'm just like, I've been high for a couple days, but I don't have no drugs on me. I'm just fucking, minding my own business. And so they would be like, okay with me, right? This officer was like, are you sure? I feel like you don't look really good. We should probably call an ambulance. Like, will you let me call an ambulance? And I gave him permission and he called an ambulance. So the ambulance came and got me. I went to the hospital. And I was sitting in the waiting room, you guys, screaming at the top of my lungs because I thought Joe was there, my friend Joe. I kept seeing him in a trash can with wheels on it, rolling from the top of the hallway down to my end of the hallway and popping his bald head out of the trash can and rolling back to and so I was like yelling at him. And the hospital staff is like, ma'am, you need to calm down. There's nobody rolling in a trash can down the hallway. Like, let's take you back to your own room. You're going to be okay. They took me back to my own room and left me back there for like an hour. And then they came back trying to talk me into going to rehab. And I was like, fuck that. I ain't going nowhere. And I left. I took off. I left my shoes there and everything and took off walking barefoot, okay, down Markham Avenue. It was like 11 o'clock at night. to me, I kept getting propositioned. This probably wasn't happening at all, but I was hallucinating that people were driving by and saying, "Hey, little lady, how much for a blowjob? Hey, little lady, how much for anal?" And so I was getting pissed. So I grabbed a stick out of the woods and I started screaming and yelling, waving it at cars that were driving by that I thought were trying to get sex from me. So my whole goal was to walk down to Kroger, my job. I worked there still, and go upstairs to the phone and call my old sponsor, Robin. That was where I was. That's where I was working towards. I got down there. I called Robin. I told her that I was hallucinating, that I was in a bad way, that I had been high, and could she please come get me and take me to get my car and let me rest at her house. So she came and got me with her and her husband. She took her husband to Tara's house, got my car, and followed me back. He followed us back to her house. And I laid down for like 2 hours. Well, I popped back up at 6 a.m., jumped in my car, and drove over to Gerald's house. And this is where I continued doing meth and cocaine and opioids and benzos. And then I was like really, really tired by 24 hours later. And I was like, can you please just help me go to sleep? And so he gave me Seroquel. When he gave me the Seroquel, that's when I went crazy and I started walking down the street at 2 a.m. again. Dude, I always do that. I would always do that shit, y'all. I would just start walking down the street in the middle of the night. And so this little Mexican lady saw me out on her front porch and she called 911. I know she was Mexican because she was speaking Spanish to me, or she might have been another kind of Hispanic, but I'm pretty sure she was Mexican. She was speaking Spanish to me, and she called an ambulance and they came and got me. And long story short, they gave me a bunch of Thorazine and Halidol, and they ended up sending me into a coma. I went to a coma for 7 days when I was in the hospital because they overloaded me with too many sedatives. They were trying to get me to come out of like the psychotic hallucinations and the like. I was really hyper, like, so they were trying to knock me out, and they ended up almost killing me because they gave me too much. They gave me 2 shots of Thorazine and 2 shots of Halidol. The first shots, they didn't work. They didn't even calm me down. Like, I was bouncing off the walls. I looked like the bitch from The Exorcist, crawling the fucking walls with my head spinning around, okay? That's how fucking live at 5 I was, all right? Like, I'm telling you guys, when I tell you about my drug addiction and the way I was, I'm telling you, I was like somebody you see on the side of the road swatting at flies that weren't really there. That's why when I share about my recovery journey now, and you guys see how regular I am, it's nothing short of a miracle that my mind functions and that I'm able to form sentences and that I'm alive today. That's why I choose not to do drugs. That's why I choose to stay in recovery, because I know that for me, if I did illegal drugs, if I did narcotics, dude, it just takes me down through there. It just fucks me up. And I end up fucking up all my shit. I just don't think I could trust myself doing anything like that nowadays. But yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Life is good today. I don't have, like I said before, today I enjoy my sobriety and I enjoy my life because I don't have to like escape it. I'm like really happy in my life today. Do you understand what I'm saying? I did drugs before because I was unhappy and I was hurting and I was broken and I was alone and I felt depression, and now I have a family who loves me and a community of people that support me. And so I have every reason to stay sober today, you know? But I want you guys to know that I support you no matter what path or what stage you are in your sobriety. I want everyone to know that this is a channel where you can come and have a safe space to share and be your authentic self. You know, I just want people to know that they have a place where they can be honest and they can share their experiences and not feel like ashamed to do it. You know, there's nothing that anyone could say that will make me feel ashamed. I have shamed myself, you know. I have I have reflected on my life choices, and sure, there's many things that I wish that I never did, but I can't change the past. All I can do is continue to make good choices today in my present life that will result in my life being better and better in the future. So, blah, 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 blah. That's your story. I love you guys. I hope y'all have a great night. I have to get off here though. My phone's on 10%. It's dying. But I just want to do a little check-in with you guys and like also talk about that, drinking once a year on a holiday. Um, some people like try so hard to, I guess, like police other people's recovery journey. I don't want to be like that. Like, I just feel like it's not conducive. It doesn't help other people when you're constantly yelling at them and telling them whether or not they're in recovery or sober or clean. Like, it doesn't help. Like, I've learned, okay? I've learned. I made mistakes in the past where I felt like I needed to like push my beliefs onto other people, and I have changed so much. Like today, I just believe in meeting people and supporting people where they're at and encouraging them to do what works for them. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.